So what can you do to solve the problem? Unfortunately, there isn't a whole lot we can do to solve the problem. This debate has been going on since the advent of medicine in the 20th century, when doctors actually got the ability to sustain life for longer periods of time. The question became the quality of that life. As long as there are people with opposing views, there's going to be other people to contrast those views. The best anyone can hope for is that people learn to accept other people's opinions about their right to choose and their right to live or their right to die. And maybe we won't enforce laws that inhibit a person's ability of the right to choose. There are certain arguments you can make to help people favor the issue. One of those arguments could be the economic burden that it places on the patient or the patient's family. The other argument to make is the patient's right to choose. Every single breathing soul has the right to choose. And the last argument you can make is the quality of the life. If you were, laying in bed with tubes shoved down your throat and in your veins, how much quality could there possibly be to your life? The pain and suffering should have to be withstood by law or at the request of the surrounding family. If you'd like to support this plight, there's a lot of things that you can do if you're in support of this decision. One of those things you could do is relocate. Oregon, Washington, and Montana are 3 states that have currently made physician-assisted suicide legal in the United States. There are a lot more states with that legislation currently in progress. Another thing that you could do is possibly write your local congressman. There have been many people who have known to be able to get laws passed by writing their congressman and demonstrating their need to legitimize what it is that they're fighting for, and they get the support on many controversial topics. You could also go online and find local organizations to support. There are a great many websites, blogs, and organizations that fully support the idea of euthanasia. There are a lot of organizations and a lot of entities that really believe in this right to choose. They really believe in a person's right to die if their quality of life is low. That's another point that I forgot to make earlier, is that some of the states have stipulations on the physician-assisted suicide. Some states say that there's a certain threshold or a certain time limit with which a person can actually have their life sustained. Otherwise, they end up having to pull the plug. But that said, there are some organizations that fully support euthanasia, and your support and your joining these organizations or your financial support could help kind of push that through. Becoming a member and providing moral and financial support to these entities could definitely help the movement. It could help push the legislation along if you write your congressman. Or you could simply relocate, like I said earlier. Going to Oregon, Washington, and Montana may not be a pertinent thing to do, but at the same time, there are also a lot of other ways to get around that. If you or someone you know is living with somebody who's in need of physician-assisted suicide, definitely go online and look up what you can about this. You can definitely find a wealth of information regarding physician-assisted suicide, and it can definitely help you make the right decision for yourself. Thank you for your time.